Tell me about yourself. Well, I actually played basketball for many years, and I was also as a pro for a few of them, but I was never the captain, especially in my pro years. I was more like a bench warmer. And one day I was very frustrated, and I went to my coach, and we decided together that I was going through a more intensive training regime, and so I did. And after I did that, I started gaining minutes. I started gaining trust in myself, but I got badly injured in my neck, and I had to stop playing forever. And that really hurt for a period. But then I decided to take it proactively, and I put my head on the books. And I also discovered my passion for being a team leader, something that I was never being able to do in my basketball years. Um, so what I did is that I started looking for jobs and opportunities, both in my university and also in the job world, that could actually require me and would help me to create this sense of leadership for myself. So I became a TA for my university. I became an event organizer for my university. I became course representative, and then also in the job world, I started doing projects with Philips, with ASML, that is a company that produces machines to produce chips, and with Deloitte. And so I started creating this sense of leadership that I think that now I have more than ever, and I'm actually actively working every day to create this sense of leadership for myself, and to create an environment for people that work with me that is synergic, and that is more than just working together, but it's a group where people work effectively together. So, what are your strengths? Well, I feel like for all my life I've been interested to business. I remember when I was a baby back in Italy, I had this house in the mountains that I used to share with my cousins, and to make some spare change and some spare money, since we didn't really get any allowance from our parents. We used to gather like rocks or do little artworks, bricolage or things like that, and we used to go to the little village square in the mountain, and just put our cart and try to sell these things to the people that were passing. And that's actually how I started being interested in business. And every time that I think about this, I always think that I've actually always been interested in this, and so therefore I think this is what I am, and this is one of my strengths, that I'm always focused on that, and it's almost in my nature that I'm focused on that. So, what are your weaknesses? Well, I played basketball for many years, and actually also as a pro, but I was never really like the captain or anything like that. And my problem is that when I get fixated on something, I really, really, really get fixated on that. And so I was very frustrated for a period, because I started being a bench warmer as soon as I became a pro. And so I was very sad, and I went to my coach, and I was like, Coach, I need to train more. I need to show that I can improve. And so we worked together, and I started doing a very intensive training plan. I was training like 4 or 5 hours a day, plus 2 games per week. And so I started getting better, of course. And but as soon as I got I got much better, much quickly, very quickly. But as soon as I got better, I got injured, and that was a problem, because I was so fixated on basketball that I didn't know better. I didn't know what else I could do. But actually, and for a period, that really hurt for me. However, decided to focus on something else as soon as I sort of processed that I could never play basketball anymore. I decided to put my head on the books, and I decided to focus on my study, and that translated also in my focus on work nowadays. And I rediscovered that passion that I had for basketball, and for trying to get better in basketball, for in my studies, and in actually in the workplace, because I started understanding that I really liked being a team leader, and that was a thing that I actually was missing from basketball. That's why I started training more and more. And however, as for a sport, also being a team leader requires training and requires you to do a lot of effort. So nowadays, I'm really actively trying to um, get better at being a team leader and get better at do what I can do to improve the workplace in my team. Where do you see yourself in? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, in 5 years, I see myself probably being on a managerial position in a company like Google or like a similar company. I would actually really love that this internship would then translate in a full time job here at Google, uh, because I really enjoy the company and I really enjoy what you bring to society, and therefore I'd like to give and to serve my leadership skills to your company, and therefore that's really what I'd like to do. I like to be in a managerial position in a big company, and I will probably be not in Italy. I'm abroad right now, and I'm not planning to go back to Italy in the at least for before I go to pension, before I retire. Therefore, I'm pretty sure I would be somewhere in a position of leadership in a multinational company. Are you good at dealing with change? Well, yeah, I think my experience gave me the capability to deal well with change. I played basketball for many years, and I was actually a pro also for a few years. However, I was more like a bench warmer. But as soon as I started getting better and getting trust in myself because I started training more and training more intensively, I got injured at my neck, and that was really really painful because I knew that I could play basketball well because I was started training more and training more intensively and putting more effort in it. However, the doctor said that I could never play basketball anymore. Therefore, I had to sort of rearrange my life and my lifestyle around uh, the change that happened to my life. So what I did, it was simply take this proactively, and I put my head on the books more, and I started enjoying the the academics part of my life, so school and university, and that also translated in my workplace. And I really discovered my passion for being a team leader, something that I was never really able to do in my basketball team since I was never the captain. Um, and so I really think that this helped me understanding how I can process a change and how I can better deal with change. Do you work well under pressure? Well, yeah, I think I work pretty well under pressure. Um, I played basketball for many years, and to work well, to play basketball, you need to be able to play sports in general at a high level. You need to be able to work under pressure. You have a lot of people watching you, and you have a lot of people that are like you have all your teammates that are putting effort, and so you don't have to fail them, and they are also putting pressure on you. And I think this is why when I played basketball, as soon as I turned it a pro, I started being less. Let's say I started being more like a bench warmer rather than a starter player. However, as soon as I realized that, I went to my coach and I talked with him and we discussed about this, and I understood that a way that I could deal with the pressure was working even harder to make sure that I was always sure to be always sure that I would never have to fail, or at least that I would be more sure on my abilities, and have more trust in myself. So I started working more towards this, and I actually started gaining minutes on the court. But as soon as I started getting better, I got injured in my neck, so I had to stop playing basketball forever. And I sort of decided to take that proactively, and I translated my basketball what I learned during basketball in my workplace, and also in let's say in the teamwork that I usually have with both university and workplace. So I started also understanding that the more you work towards something, the less the pressure you have. And even if you have pressure, and even if you are in a moment of stress, if you know that you worked on something, and if you know that you're truly aware and truly believe in your abilities, you're not gonna fail. Or at least if you fail, you're gonna do the best that you can. And if that's not enough, well, you work more next time. How do you make important decisions? Well, usually when I make important decisions, I'm always analytical. I always try to go step by step. For example, I played basketball for many years, and I was never really uh, uh, the captain or anything. I was more like a bench warmer. So I decided that I was gonna get better, and to do that, I had to face a decision: will I stop playing basketball now, or will I go on and play basketball but work really hard to get better and getting minutes? And after talking with my coach, I decided that I was gonna work hard and try to gain those minutes. So I started working like 4 to 5 hours a week, working out 4 to 5 hours a week, and I started actually getting better, and I started gaining minutes, and I started getting trust in myself. However, as soon as all of that happened, I got badly injured in my neck, and I had to stop playing forever. But uh, I think I sort of learned this lesson, right? And also when I had to stop, when I had to stop playing basketball, I had to face another decision. Will I do something about it? Will I keep working in the basketball environment, or will I decide of something more different, something more like my studies or like other fields of work? And well, I decided that I was gonna focus on my studies, because after thinking about it and after analyzing pro and cons of the situation, I decided that I had more opportunities in the outside world and keep focusing on my studies, and so I did. And I discovered my passion for academics and for working in places where the teamwork is present, and when it's you have to create that sense of synergy, and where I'm a sort of team leader for a group, and I have to create an environment where the group and the job can be done very well. Why should you hire me? Uh, well, I really love Google, and I think that what you bring to society is the democratization of the knowledge, and the democratization of opinions that before were given only to a few ones. And I also really believe that I can bring to you my knowledge for business and for teamwork. I think business has been a very big part of my life since my since my early years. Actually, I remember I used to have a house with my family and with my cousins in the mountains, and to be able to afford some spare change or some extra money because we weren't getting too much allowance. Me and my cousins used to gather like small rock or small toys that we didn't use anymore, or like do some bricolage, create some sort of artsy object, and go to the square of this little village and try to sell to the people that were passing our our things, our toys, and we actually created this sort of little fund that was called the Cousins Secret Fund, and we started getting money, and we started spending those money in our things. So I think, to sum up, what I can tell you is that business and marketing and sales are almost in my nature, are almost something that I was almost born to do, and something that always accompanied me from my early beginnings to nowadays. And I work actively hard every day to improve myself in what I do, and to improve myself in marketing, in business in general, in sales. And I really try to bring to the table whatever I can bring, and all the experience that I gained in my previous years.